everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by for yet another video. I do appreciate that, and as always, I appreciate you. So, I'm over here at AccuWeather.com now, and I just made a video earlier on Philippe um, and how it was going to fuel this major East Coast storm that is going to hit the East Coast, obviously. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to give a quick update to this powerful East Coast storm that is supposed to hit around, the Boston area and whatnot. But it says flooding, rain, damaging winds to wallop northeastern U.S. into Monday, and I'll show you this part of this video here in just a second. But it says a powerful storm will lash the northeastern United States with heavy rain, locally damaging winds, and significant travel disruptions into Monday. The storm will be fed in part by the moisture from Tropical Storm Philippe. Now, like I said, I just made a video on that a little bit earlier. So basically what Philippe's going to do, it's going to be absorbed by this powerful East Coast storm, basically inject moisture into the storm, which is going to produce heavy rains. So there, it says the rain and wind that began to pick up on Sunday morning in the mid-Atlantic will only increase and become more disruptive from south to north into Monday morning. Now it says the storm will be moving at a swift pace, which will limit the most intense wind and rain to a 6 to 12 hour period. So good news is it's a fast moving storm, but the bad news is that means it's going to dump everything at once, and quickly, which I believe, obviously could lead, well, it even says right here, what I was getting ready to say, could lead to flooding, and it says there's possible localized flooding, minor coastal flooding, increasingly windy, travel disruptions, and also slippery roads. But you can see, look where some of the heaviest rain is. Like I said, my little brother, lives in Boston, but you see DC area is going to be hit with some heavy rain. New York area, Syracuse, Montreal. It also says a flood threat to mount into Monday morning. So it says the area from eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey to central and eastern New York State to New Hampshire has the greatest potential for flash and urban flooding. So it says widespread rainfall totals of 2 to 5 inches are anticipated along this swath, with localized areas potentially picking up over 6 inches of rain. Now, even though it may not sound like a lot, like I say in other videos, you got to think that this amount of rain is getting dumped in a very short amount of time. So that's where the problem lies. It says significant water rises can occur over areas, streams, and rivers. Street flooding will be magnified where fallen leaves block storm drains. The combination of rain and fallen leaves will lead to slippery roads, making it necessary for motorists to slow down. It also goes on to say that strong winds to threaten damage and power outages, as coastal areas and the highest elevations of New England will be lashed with wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour at the storm's peak through Sunday night. So I mean, that's some pretty heavy wind gusts right there. It's a strong wind gust of 40 to locally 55 mile an hour from the northwest and west are also expected to develop across the backside of the storm from Virginia's I-81 corridor to Washington, D.C., Syracuse, New York, and New York City until Monday morning. Now here's some of the damaging winds. Sporadic power outages possible, tree damage possible, also travel delays. But you can look at some of the 60 to 70 mile an hour, especially along the coast and pretty much in the center of the storm as well. But even the 50 to 60 mile an hour gusts. I mean, look at this huge area that's going to be affected by these heavy winds. It finishes up by saying that winds of this magnitude could easily knock down trees, trigger power outages, and minor property damage. As the wind pushes water towards the upper mid-Atlantic and New England coast, a period of minor coastal flooding can occur as well. So let's see if it goes on to say anything. It also says snow to blanket high elevations. So even this, as snow returns into Sunday night, so you can see these areas here, possible snow accumulation as well. And it says here strong winds and disruptions to linger in the wake of the storm. So even into Monday, it says drier air will rush back into the region on the heels of gusty northwesterly winds. Additional power power outages are expected and tree damages may result as well. So it says motorists and pedestrians will need to be on the lookout for downed power lines and trees as they venture out to work and school. So again, you know, in higher elevation areas, you're going to see snow from this storm, and obviously around the Boston area, Portland area, New York area, you're going to see high winds. You're going to see heavy rains, coastal flooding, possible flash flooding. So, and this is going to be intensified by the fact that you know, Philippe, Tropical Storm Philippe, the remnants of that is going to get injected into this East Coast storm and add all this moisture. So it's not really good news, but I'll keep everyone up to date as more updates come out. But again, you know, heavy winds, lots of rain, um, you know, possible flooding and coastal flooding. So it's not really good news. This is pretty powerful storm they're going to get hit with. So thanks for supporting the channel and watching these videos. But that's where I'm going to leave this video at. And I do appreciate every single one of you. The channel's continuing to grow every day, slowly but surely. And but yeah, I hope you all have a great day. Peace.